So April is Financial Literacy Month, and it's never too early to teach kids about money. Raising financially responsible young adults has a bonus.
Yeah, kids who understand money are less likely to beg for pricey toys and sneakers, right? Or so you hope. Trey Bodge, smart shopping expert at TrueTrade.com, joining us to share tactics we can all use. So Trey, good to see you this morning. First of all,
thanks so much for having me.
What if you're not great with money? Okay, let's begin there. And how do you recommend teaching your kids if you yourself aren't good at it?
That's a great question, right? We're supposed to be teaching our kids, but if we're not great with money, it is okay to ask for help. In fact, that's a great lesson to show your kids that ask for help when you need it. I recommend a platform called Wealth Ramp. It is a free service that pairs you up with vetted, fee-only fiduciary financial advisors, and then you ultimately choose the person who's right for you. They can help get you on a plan, give you some financial structure, and then you can pass those lessons on to your kids.
So how early should we start, though? I have a 13 and 11-year-old, and we're talking to them about that already now, but should it even be earlier than that age?
Yes. In fact, Dan, you could be starting now with your little one.
Okay.
You can start very young. You can start with counting money, sorting money. You want to clean it when they're little, right? But teaching them very, very young is really, really good. And then you can create more structured and more complex issues as you go along, and then they will go and grow as you go.
Okay, all very interesting. Yes, I feel like Olivia is starting to want to be interested in money, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, let's not talk about that yet. But now you're saying I should. How have you seen, though, that early education, Trey, is paying off with people like your daughter?
Yeah, I mean, I've been teaching my daughter her whole life. She's almost 20 now, and we did start very young, 4 or 5, with sorting and such. And then even as young as 4 or 5 or 6, if you bring them to the store and there are those little machines and you can give them 50 cents to decide which machine to use, that's a great first step, because when they feel that pain of that money coming out of their hand, it's very impactful, and they will make very smart decisions when you do that.
Yeah, I'm finding that is the case with my kids now, because when we went on vacation, they could only spend their money and not ours if they wanted to buy something. And it really is effective, right? If they save money on their own in their piggy bank, bring it on vacation or wherever, and they spend their own money, it really does make a difference.
It really does. It's much different for them to spend your money like an open wallet, right?
Yeah, mom and daddy bank.
Their money. So they're reaching into their pocket. They're looking at their bank account. And you can do this in a number of ways. So they can contribute to, maybe they want a pair of sneakers that is above your budget for back to school. Have them contribute to that. If they want a phone, have them pay for the phone service. There are low-cost services like Mint Mobile, $15 a month. Maybe your child pays for that. And then they'll have more value to that phone that they have in their hand as well. So there are a lot of lessons that can be learned just by doing these little things with them. The younger, the better.
Okay, all very interesting. And kids these days, I remember going out and snow shoveling, make some money there. But what are some ways that kids can make money for themselves?
Sure. So, of course, there's allowance, and you can control that. I always recommend paying them allowance based on what they've done, not just paying them an allowance. And then they can, of course, go out into the community. Dan, you mentioned snow shoveling, which I love, raking leaves, weeding, babysitting, caring for pets. And as they get older, of course, they can go out into town and maybe work in the corner store, things like that. And then as they get older, they could sign up for a service like care. Once they're 18, they can do things like that to help care for animals and babies. So there are lots of different ways for kids to have jobs, and I highly, highly recommend having them earn their own money as young as possible.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, the thing we used to do is have garage sales, or they called them tag sales.
Tag sales,
and sell our stuff, and we got to keep the money. That's another way, right?
Absolutely. I love a yard sale, a garage sale. That's a great way for them to earn their own money and kind of see the items that they no longer need kind of going out the door. So that's great. And what my daughter did actually when she was a teenager is she used Depop. A lot of kids sell their clothes and accessories on Depop, or even on Instagram stories. You can do that. So many ways for your kids to make money. Consignment stores, if you live in the suburbs, that's another way. So many great ways for them to earn money off of the things that they no longer need, and then make really mindful decisions about what they want to buy.
Yeah, Trey, you're always a wealth of advice. Where can we find more from you if we'd like?
Sure. So my website, truetrade.com, has thousands of articles at this point about how to save money. And then my Instagram, @TrueTray, lots of money saving tips there every day.
Good stuff, Trey. All right, I'm learning new things every day. That website you just talked about, consignment clothing, what was it called?
Depop.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm just an old
Yeah.
man. All right, thank you very much.
So
Appreciate
old.
it.
All right, Trey.